We all know I was a Sega person back in the 90s. I grew up with Segas, I love Sega. However, this doesn't mean I wasn't massively fond of Nintendo, and I loved getting the chance to play my friends' Super Nintendos at any opportunity. It's these opportunities where I also took the chance to flick through early copies of Super Play magazine. Super Play was a UK publication aimed squarely at the Super Nintendo market, running from November 1992 to September 1996, and I've heard that it's remembered quite fondly by its readers. Well, those readers should possibly rejoice, because bundled with this month's Retro Gamer magazine is a brand new final copy of Super Play, featuring a magnificent Fox McCloud drawn by Will Overton, who appears to be gaming whilst flying in a ship adorned with SNES pad buttons. Of course, it's not the first time Retro Gamer have done such a thing. Way back in issue 9, a special copy of Your Sinclair was published, but that's almost retro in itself now, being an upsetting 13 years ago. Of course, it's obvious why this should be the month the magazine has returned. It's Super Nintendo Mini month. The month all those eBay pre-orders are possibly fulfilled by scalpers, or carpetbagger entrepreneurs as I prefer to call them. Personally, it's this hype which makes items like the SNES Mini all the more appealing. It feels like the 90s again. Nintendo knows this as much as anyone else. It's the reason why they limit stock so much. It creates atmosphere, talk, news and energy. The magazine kicks off with an introduction from Tony Mott, one of the team from the original magazine's run, and then we have some discussion about the Mini itself and the history of the Super Nintendo, something I plan on covering myself in the not too distant future. We even get a chance to see the Mini's little tongue. Bless. A lot of the original team are back for this one-off issue, so it's fitting then that we're then launched into some background on the magazine, describing how Super Play was always intended to feel more like a club than a magazine, with a heavy slant towards the Japanese market, which makes total sense given the number of Super Famicoms and Japanese games which had already been imported before we finally got the PAL version of the Super Nintendo in the spring of 1992. The main bulk of this magazine, cunningly, consists of re-reviews of the games included on the Super Nintendo Mini hardware, which I think actually makes for a really nice magazine. These reviews reek of the 90s, even down to the little scoring boxes which are so evocative of the time. I could go through each review individually, but I don't want to keep you. This is only a quick exploratory video to spread some Nintendo love. Further to the back, we've got a nice feature showing off the titles exclusive to the Super Famicom Mini. Man, look, I love those boxes. Before the final section suggesting some games which could have made it onto the Mini, but didn't. And yes, there's some splendid games here. Shadowrun, Turtles in Time, Pilot Wings, but you can't give consumers too much excitement now, can you? And that's pretty much it. The magazine ends with a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe advert, and that's precisely what I'm about to go and play. Sorry, not sorry if you were expecting a longer video, I just fancy doing a little extra weekend video to share this excitement with you. Anyway, have a great evening.